Hugo Grotius, the father of modern international law, taught us that law protects commerce. He argued specifically that commerce thrives only where law restrains power and ensures fairness between nations, because one principle remains sacrosanct: markets thrive when law is predictable. Grotius laid the foundations of international commercial law, and over the last 3 decades, Africa has made extraordinary progress. Borders have opened, tariffs have fallen, regional value chains have emerged. And at the center of this squared revolution is the COMESA Court of Justice.
It's time for Africa to look inward and see solutions from inside. And it's all well and good to have the support of the knowledge and experience from elsewhere. But ultimately, we have to tell our own story. We have to create our own narrative. Otherwise, we'll always be reacting or being part of somebody else's agenda and not our own.
COMESA is one of the building blocks of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Of course, we have other regional bodies like ECOWAS, and we have the East African Community. But COMESA, and I'm proud to be part of COMESA because COMESA is the largest regional economic community in Africa. And I'm also very proud to be part of the COMESA Court of Justice, which is the judicial arm of the common market. And why is a court important? Is because without the rule of law, there can be no trade, there can be no economic integration, there can be no peace.
Today, Africa, affirms Hugo Grotius, Africa's largest free trade areas and common markets are steeped in harmonizing rules and institutions that settle disputes fairly.
The COMESA Court of Justice has been in existence for the last 30 years, and in that time we have had some landmark cases, among them the famous Polito versus the Republic of Mauritius. In case anyone does not know what Polito did, Polito is actually the only, to my knowledge as of today, case in Africa that dealt with trade issues per se, regional trade, and especially the issue of member states that failed to comply with the treaty provision. In this case, the Republic of Mauritius levied duty, custom duty, on imports that had emanated from Egypt, another COMESA member state. And the Polito went to court in Mauritius, all the way to the Supreme Court, and they failed to get remedy. But part of the reason was because, of course, they were saying the treaty had not been domesticated in Mauritius. So they came to the court on 2 grounds. First, of course, they came to the court to say that we wanted the court to declare that the Republic of Mauritius was wrong to levy custom duty. Now, what happened is the Republic of Mauritius filed a preliminary objection, saying that this court did not have jurisdiction because the treaty had not been domesticated. And the court found that it didn't matter. It didn't matter whether you are domesticated or not, as long as you had ratified the treaty.
This is the role of the COMESA Court of Justice, the guardian of a predictable, rules-based regional market.
I think we should celebrate the journey of the organ COMESA, the journey of the court, the role that the court has played in regional integration, straight from the past years as the preferential free trade area. We've seen unity among African countries. We've seen unity among regional blocks, economic blocks, with the tripartite free trade area. And I think there's a lot to celebrate. In 30 years, we've been able to achieve quite a lot. And I think the future is bright. When you consider so many things that are taking place even right now on the African continent, with the African Continental Free Trade Area, these are aspects that were merely visions of our forefathers, and now they're being achieved. And I think it's something to look forward to. And as we celebrate 30 years, I think this is only the beginning and not the end in itself for us to achieve most of the goals that have been set by our leaders on the African continent.
We have rules and regulations that make it easy for different member states to align themselves with the same, common goals in terms of trade, investment, that sort of thing. So for me, I believe in terms of the court, we particularly assist in terms of ensuring that we're adhering to the rules and regulations that our REC has developed. outside of the treaty, we have subsidiary regulations, we have trade remedy regulations, we have competition rules, which affect competition within the market, and that is what our court is there to do, to regulate these sort of rules and the interactions between the different member states. So we're here to ensure that all these rules that we have prepared for ourselves, that we have put, these frameworks that we've put for ourselves, that we follow them, that we adhere to them, and that we make it very easy for our continent to basically prosper.
I think the world needs to know that the COMESA Court of Justice is actually a regional commercial court, where because there are cases that you cannot take to your national courts. Of course, I'm not saying that they may not have jurisdiction, but issues relating to the interpretation of the COMESA Treaty and application ideally should come to the COMESA Court of Justice, because we do not want a situation where different member states or courts in different member states interpret the treaty differently. So the court is there to assist those that are doing business, the investor-state dispute issues, investors and other people within the common market. Those kind of disputes, the court is there for them. And it's open for business. Please, we are here, and it costs money to retain the court. So make use of it if you are within the COMESA region. That's what I'm saying. And by the way, why I speak beyond the COMESA region is because investors don't necessarily come from COMESA region. You could be all the way from the Americas and you have set business here. If you are a legal person established here, even though your genesis is not from the continent, from the region, you actually have a standing before the court. So you don't have to bring your member state from the Americas to come and represent you in the COMESA court. You have a standing in your own right. So the court is there to ensure that the rule of law is maintained within the COMESA region.